When Thor, the Norse god of thunder, was out on one of his journeys, he set down his hammer and wandered away. Thrym, the frost giant, found the hammer and snuck it back to Jotunheim and buried it 8 miles deep under the ice. When Thor realized his hammer was missing, he returned to the spot where he had placed it down and realized only a frost giant would have the strength to lift the hammer. Thor returned to Asgard in such a rage that the other gods trembled before him, but they trembled even more when they realized where the hammer had gone. With the hammer in the hands of the frost giants, Asgard was no longer safe. Loki, normally a trickster god, but who was feeling quite helpful that day, traveled over to Jotunheim, where he found the giant Thrym. "I'm here to ask about Thor's hammer and whether you would consider returning it to me," Loki said. Thrym laughed at him. "Oh, I have the hammer. I have hidden it deep under the ice, and I will only return it if you bring me the goddess Freya to be my bride." Loki returned to Asgard and told Thor of Thrym's offer. Now Thor, thinking only of his hammer, went immediately to Freya and told her to get ready. She had to go to Jotunheim to be Thrym's bride. Now Freya's reaction to this request was with such anger and fury that now Thor was the one who trembled as he backed out of the room. But Loki had an idea. "Thor, if you want to get your hammer back, perhaps you should dress up as Freya and go to Jotunheim to marry Thrym." Well, there was no other choice if Thor wanted his hammer back. He dressed himself in one of Freya's gowns, wore a beautiful necklace around his thick neck, and hid his beard with a bridal veil. But the veil could not disguise the angry blazing of his eyes. Loki disguised himself as a beautiful handmaiden, and off they went to Jotunheim. When Thrym saw who he believed to be Freya arriving, he prepared the wedding feast. And at the feast, Thor ate an entire oxen, 10 salmon, drank 5 caskets of mead, and Thrym was so surprised to see Freya with such appetite. Loki whispered to him, "Freya has not eaten in 7 days. So great was her longing for Jotunheim." Hearing this, Thrym was so excited he wanted to kiss his bride. So he leaned in, but when he saw the blazing eyes, he recoiled. And now Loki whispered, "Well, Freya has not slept in 7 days. So great was her longing for Jotunheim." When the feast was over, Thrym took the hammer and put it in the lap of his bride. And when Thor's fingers wrapped around the hammer, he sprang up, ripped the veil off of his face, and prepared to strike. He struck down Thrym with one blow and destroyed the Hall of the Giants. Thor and Loki returned to Asgard, where all the gods assured Thor that he made a very lovely bride.